So I started my private practice in San Francisco about 7 years ago, met my now husband, ended up working with him with his landscape company for about 3.5 years. So like I got my business up and then was working with him and grew it to about a $5 million company, and I did lots and lots of fun things, and then the economy changed and he downsized, and so it was kind of a good time for me to get back into nutrition, which I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started doing it again, and it's like, oh, okay, breath of fresh air. And so, you know, I had my website that I had somebody do, and then it was redone, so it was kind of like, you know, a bunch of sticky notes all over the place type of feeling. And I had another gal, another dietitian had joined my practice, and so we were doing the lots of squirrel things, and we were going to redo the website, and we decided, well, we'll just, you know, go ahead and start from scratch instead of just piecemealing it together again. And I'd also started going to an enormous amount of networking events, you know, and they're the ones that you go to and you're like, oh man, these are not any of my, but you just keep going because I didn't know what was out there. So I was going to all kinds of networking, and I had gone to a few different things. There's a lot of ladies that are building some lovely communities in the San Francisco Bay Area, so I was going to those events, and then I spoke at one, the Women of Wellness Conference, and I've done speaking for a long time, so I knew that that was what I'd always wanted to do. And then one of the community things came across, I was in somebody's funnel, and it came across, and Tracy was going to be speaking at this event, and it was internet marketing. I'm like, oh, well, I'm getting ready to redo my website, I should probably go hear her. And so I put on hold even sending anything to my web guy, because I didn't want to start and then have to redo it. So I went to the event, and you know, she was fantastic. We've all seen her speak, and she had her clarity call, and as I'm, you know, listening to this, I was like, you know, I really need that program, because I knew I was doing too many things. It's not like that was a secret, but it was like, I really need to hone in on what I want to do. And I'd had several people, like including my husband, well, you know, you should be branding yourself, you know, as Susie as opposed to Nutrition for Your Lifestyle. And it's like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. But you know, I've got this other person that's working with blah, 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 blah. So, you know, so I invested in the clarity call, and I spent a lot of time on that. I mean, because I think I went in August, and I don't think we did the call till October, because I was like, the long questionnaire, and I spent a lot of time just thinking about it. It was really important to me to make sure that was, you know, that I was giving her all of the information. You know, did that call, and it was, you know, I'd been thinking about it. It's like, well, I'm really practical as far as, you know, the advice I give my clients. Like, I'm not an extremist dietitian, and so I'm on the call, and she said, well, I think this is your USP, practical, healthy solutions that fit your lifestyle. I'm like, well, that's perfect. And, you know, and it just kind of kept going from there. And, you know, then it was the platinum program, and I looked at it, and I'm, you know, I have a web guy, I know how to do stuff, and I literally sat down with the grid that she said, here are all the things that you'll get. And I wrote, okay, if I did that myself, it would cost me this much money, and it would take me this many hours. And so I did that for the whole, like, 2 pages of stuff, and it would have cost me less money, but I think I came up with like 200 hours, and then it's like, okay, if I put that value on my time, then it's costing me more money, and I don't have 200 hours that I can do in 6 months, or not 6 months, 60 days, to try to get this done. And so, you know, I talked it over with my husband, and we were, you know, I mean, I was excited to be able to invest, and so we made it happen. And the other thing that was very important to me is I wasn't just buying a website and a landing page. You know, she's like, well, you can ask me anything about, you know, any part of your business when you're part of this. And so I've, you know, just done, well, what should we do about this on the book? We were doing offers in the book, and she said, well, don't make 10 landing pages and drive yourself nuts, just do one. And, you know, so I was able to ask her all kinds of questions, but when I was in that decision process, I mean, all these networking things, I have an action coach that's in my B&I group, and I have another gal that's a business coach. So I'd met all these people that do phenomenal things, but they weren't on international stages. You know, they weren't on TV all over the place. I mean, to me, there's a huge value of Tracy's experience and then her community, and, you know, being able to come here. So it was like a multitude of reasons. And like when Michelle was talking about speed, I think once it was go, I think I had my logo in like 4 days or something. I was like, really, this fast? And so it was, my website is in the coming soon stages, so it's up there, but I owe her a lot of content, so that's the only reason that it's not done. I loved writing my guide. It's just been, it's a great process of doing what I knew I could do and kind of was doing, but it was just kind of getting that focus and not being so scattered, and I really like having someone say, okay, I need these 3 pages written now. Okay, then I can do that. And that was part of what was important for me, to just stay on task. So thank you very much. Thank you for
Hey everyone, I want you to get ready to make an instant online impact with a fully branded, complete end-to-end website presence and message to market system in under 60 days. So the first step you have to take is get a full review of all your online assets and remove any confusion you have so that you are clear on what your next steps are. Go to www.onlineclaritycleanse.com. I'll see you there.